to our special occasion today, and I'm talking about the Muslim software developer special occasion happening today, and it's been a very, very auspicious day because we're having an interesting topic. And the personality that I'll be elucidating the topic is actually a very, very interesting personality too. So today we'll be talking about something that has claimed the center of discussion in the world. All over the world, there has been lots of intellectual discussions on remote working, and of course, being productive effectively during this disposition of working remotely. So this topic has actually assumed one of the most demanding topics in the world, and today I'll be having it elucidated clearly without ambiguity by the special guest of honor that we have invited from a very, very reputable organization, and he has got an enviable experience in the field of, his intellectual distinctiveness. So it's another edition of the, Muslim event. This has been tagged the January workshop, which will be focusing on working remotely, and inshallah I'll be having subsequent events every month. So this would precede the one for this year. So I would like to quickly give the synopsis of what Muslim is all about. It's a conglomeration of Muslims in IT. So you could be a programmer, or an IT entrepreneur, or an idealist, or a network engineer, or anything that's going to do with IT. So you're welcome so far you are a Muslim. So you can be on a platform. Okay, so I would like to quickly take the first thing on the agenda, and that has got to do with the opening prayer. We have got an important someone in the house to do that for us, and I'm talking about someone I reverse so much, Mr. Idris Oladipo. Oladipo, I think, is online. So if he is not, may I know if he's not online yet? Okay, so he's supposed to take the opening prayer. So if he's online, he can actually join us on the platform. Okay, he's not online. Okay, no problem. So I will take the opening prayer. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Okay. So I haven't taken the opening prayer to precede our interesting presentation today. We will be moving to the opening remarks, and so the opening remarks shall be done by the Musdevs, coordinator of events, and I'm talking about my very, very respected brother, Mr. Jami Ayinde, to give us a quick synopsis of what the opening remark is, inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Aweda. It's been a very lovely day, and we really appreciate everyone for joining us on this platform today. As Mr. Aweda has said earlier, we are going to be talking about something very interesting today, and it's something that, especially in Lagos State, is one of the center of discussion as we are speaking now, because the Lagos State has announced that the schools, all our schools, to resume back physical, and the level 14, majority of the civil servants are expected to still work from home. And today there is this fear, because there is the dichotomy between productivity and availability. So there is a need for us to understand what the nature of work from home is going to be. And today we have brought a speaker that can do justice to that topic. From the government side, the government wants to know a lot of things about the act of working from home. The government wants to know how they are going to engage their civil servants from home. They also want to know how they would analyze their productivity. Which some of the civil servants, they will be working from home starting from now, and the government are putting in different efforts for them to see how they can engage them and see how they can work from home. Also, as an employer, you want to see what you can do in order for you to be able to quantify the amount of job done by your staffs while they are working remotely. And you also want to see how you can organize your staff to work remotely from effectively from home. And you also, there is this also lack of trust that, oh, if I decide to allow my staff to work from home, wouldn't they be using my time and my resources for other things? So these are some of a lot of things that move around the act of work from home, and our facilitator is very much around to do justice to that. And as an employee, as an individual, this period, you want to be able to keep your job, and you also want to know how you can achieve all the tasks you are expected to do from the office, how you can achieve everything from home, and you also want to see how you can manage your family while you are at work from home. So these and a whole lot of things are what we will be talking around today, that we will be looking around. We will be looking at. I think that after today's discussion, our society is expected to move from level A to level B in terms of how we organize our activities and how we see this pandemic. A lot of people have actually benefited from this pandemic, and they have actually moved their way of doing things from the ancient way to a new stage, and this is expected to be an eye-opener for every one of us. I trust that our brother Mr. Kazim Lawal is very much ready for us, and I appreciate every one of us for coming online, and I expected that after today's discussion, we should make use of what we listen here to change our way of doing things and to rethink and to rejig our perspective in how we'll see working remotely. Thank you so much, and I wish you all a fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, he's done. The chairman is done. Okay.
Okay, I think okay. I was actually away briefly because of outage of her internet in my terrain. Okay, so I think Mr. Jamil has actually, taken into great consideration the synopsis of what today's presentation will be about, and interestingly, we'll be moving into the reason for this occasion now, and I'm going to run a quick summary of the guest profile so that we may capture that. Okay, so the speaker for today's special occasion on remote working and having it done effectively is Mr. Kazim. So he's popularly known as Abu Aisha, Mr. Kazim Lawal. He studied physics and electronics from the prestigious Yaba College of Technology with the distinction, and he has his master's in information technology from the prestigious Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. He works for he works as head of the project management Stanbic IBTC. So if I could get that pretty clearly here. So working remotely, okay, in 2020 he is responsible for IT project implementation in Stanbic IBTC pension managers. He works with both local and foreign consultants on IT related issues. So he's also the co-founder of an interesting growing IT company, Content Bunch. So we're so glad to have you in the house today, Mr. Kazim Lawal. You should come on board for this interesting presentation. We're so excited to have you around.
أعوذ بالله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Okay, so just to be sure, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Good. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So let me also know, please, once you can see my screen, so that I can proceed as well. Okay, so Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We are grateful to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala who has spared our lives till today and has given us the opportunity to be having this conversation around working effectively and productively remotely. To be honest with you, this is a very interesting topic, and I really appreciate the team from Musdev for inviting me to discuss some of this or this particular topic. I'm excited to discuss it, but just to mention that I'm not, I may not be a pro per se in terms of being a pro as in around working effectively. But one thing I can convince everyone about is something I've been working on for the past close to a year, and I've worked with nothing less than 15 different people locally and outside Nigeria around project implementation. I can tell you something that has come to stay as well. So thank you so much for the opportunity to come here to discuss this. I just want to confirm, admin, can you see my slide and can you also see my picture as in my video?
Yes, I can see them clearly.
Okay, fantastic. So we'll start. We'll go into this conversation. All right, so we are looking at discussing about 5 points. Hopefully time will allow us to do that. So first, we intend to talk about general introduction about different concepts, remote working, work from home, the concept of effectiveness and productivity. We also hope to discuss the evolution of remote working, giving us brief history around how remote work has evolved over time. We also hope to talk about, or I hope to discuss, 5 common remote work challenges, because I feel that sometimes we all look at some of these things from the positive angle and we hardly consider some of the challenges that we encounter. So we're going to talk about the common common remote or common challenges that we encounter, and of course the benefit as well. What are the benefits for us? The benefit here is talking to us around individual employees, employers of labor, a freelancer, and all of that, right? And lastly, we hope to take, I have like 7 ways I think it can enhance your productivity or an effectiveness working from home. um so we move directly into the conversation, because for us to really understand some of these things, yeah, we will do some of this currently. A lot of us work from home, a lot of us do a lot of things from home. So it is important for us to do some basic definitions and you understand how some of these words or some of these phrases are being used in the public phase. So when you talk about remote work is a formal job that doesn't take place in the traditional office. So that means that you're not going into a physical office, or you're not going to like a structure that is meant for your organization. In other words, it means that you're working remotely. You're not driving to your office, you're not sitting in a place called an office between between Monday and Friday, and staying there between 8 and 5. So when you say 8 and 5, I know a lot of people say, wow, I don't work 8 to 5, right? And that's correct, truly. I don't work 8 to 5 too. I do like, let me say like, I do like maybe 7 to like 10 p.m., right? Right. So, but the point is, yes, you're not going to a physical structure, sitting down there and having that mentality around, I'm going to an office, right? So you are working from any place that you're comfortable working with or working from. And the goal is actually for you to get things sorted. When another terminology that is also important that we discuss right now, and it is more important in this COVID era, and that is work from home, right? There are conversations around differences between remote work and work from home. But what is very clear is remote work is it's like a universe, and work from home is like a sub with respect to remote work. And it's more important for us to discuss this because in the current world, before the COVID pandemic, people can really work anywhere. They can go to a coffee shop, they can go to anywhere to say, okay, I'm a remote worker, right? But because of COVID-19, we are all required to stay indoor as much as possible. As a result, the concept of work from home is now becoming prevalent, right? Though, like I've said, it's a sub or it's a form of remote work. And what we require is we are working within the confines of our house, right? We are not going to an office, yes, but yes, we are working from our house. You can see that guy just lying down or just sitting down, pressing his phone, checking his emails, and just working in his yard. Yeah. So remote work is not having that mental, and it's a new way of thinking, really. Before now, we are all used to waking up early, wearing a type of clothes, putting up a type of shoe, kind this projecting a particular personality in terms of outfit, how you dress, right? But now you wake up from your bed, you brush your teeth, you go straight to your desk, and you start working. So it's a total different way of life, and it's a paradigm shift from how things are being done. So the point here is remote work is something that you don't go physically to a structure or an office. And working from home is a type of remote work. However, you work within your house, an apartment, or your residence. We've had conversations, or we have some of the experts discussing the difference or the differences between remote work and work from home. What they've told us is work from home is like it's a form of benefit. It's a form of add-on um, value adding benefit that an employer will give an employee to tell, okay, you have a couple of days in a year to go ahead and work from home, right? While remote work is you are signing up to start working remotely. So I can be employed by someone to come in physically into the office to work, right? However, they'll give me some, let's say, benefit to say, okay, you can stay off work, work from the confines of your home for like 5 days, for 10 days, for 15 days in a year, right? While remote work, when you are coming on board as an employee, you are coming on board as a remote worker. Nobody is employing you as, okay, I'm working from home. No, you are coming as a remote worker 247. You are required to work remotely. The only thing you do is you check in your codes, you turn in your work. There are specifics that you have agreed with your employer, and that's the way you work. You hardly go to the office for whatever reason. Why in the other way around, work from home is you go to office more often, but you take some days off working from home. So another concept we also need to discuss is difference of productivity versus effectiveness. When I was looking up on this topic, a lot of people use some of these words interchangeably, but looking at it in depth, you see that there are slight differences. However, they are projecting the same concept. So if you look at productivity in workplace, so when you say productivity now, productivity can be defined in economics, in engineering, using different terminologies, yeah. But we are talking about productivity in a workplace. And the productivity we are discussing here refers to how much work is accomplished over a period of time, right? So you say, okay, this guy is productive, meaning that the guy is able to churn out more within small time or within a period of time. So, and it is really relative. Somebody can be more productive than the other, meaning that if you give both of them the same task within the same time, one of them will turn out more than the other, right? And when you talk about effectiveness is the capability of producing a desired result. Now you are being specific, or the ability to produce desired output. So they've asked you to do something and you are able to define or produce that specific thing at that time. But merging both of them together, I'm comfortable saying that productivity and effectiveness in this context will be that the ability to maximize time and focusing on the right thing. You have, like economists will tell us that time is limited. It's one of the scarce commodity, right? So it's 24 hours. Nobody can say, I want to extend my own personal time to 48 hours when we are not talking about movies, right? So the real thing is 24 hours will remain 24 hours, right? So how are you able to maximize what you are able to do or what you need to do within these 24 hours? How are you able to focus on the requirements or the deliverables required of you within these 24 hours? And how are you able to deliver to your organization? How are you able to deliver to your own organization? So there are cases where some of us on this call we're employers, some of us on this call we're also employees, irrespective. What is important is how am I able to maximize time and focus on the right thing? So if you look at the topic now, so working remotely effectively and or working effectively and productively remotely, meaning the meaning is that how am I able to maximize the time at my disposal and focusing and churning out what is required of me within specific time while doing that remotely. Am I doing it from my house? Am I doing it from anywhere? But what is important in this conversation right now is we are not doing it from the physical structure called office. So the point is working remotely effectively means that how are you able to deliver more? And working or remote work is not something entirely new to us. We know that COVID-19 actually facilitated this and fast tracked this. I was reading an article on how the impact of COVID-19 on digital economy. Yeah, like um, I was introduced, or yeah, as part of my portfolio, I'm a student of economics, and I'm currently doing a research on the impact of COVID-19 on digital economy. So when I was reading about this and gathering articles from different scholars and all of that, I got to realize that COVID-19 has taken the world further than even 2030, because what COVID-19 has done is it has pushed us ahead of digital economy. It has pushed us into adoption of different solutions, right? Even keying in into different digital initiatives. But yeah, COVID-19 has done that, but that does not mean that this journey actually started in 2020, right? This journey started even earlier than 1970, in fact in the 60s, because people were looking at it that yeah, people go, after the third or during the third industrial revolution, that people are going in, people are now going into offices, people are going into industries to manufacture stuff. They realized that the rate of carbon emission was a risk, or it is a risk actually. And they felt that there's a concept, or there was a movement called clean air movement. And the focus of that thing is how do we reduce carbon emission? How do we ensure that pollution is reduced, or air pollution is reduced as much as possible? And one of the concepts, all these movements, they're idealistic sometimes. So one of the concepts that was introduced was zero commute time, meaning that don't go anywhere, stay indoor. If you don't drive your car, right, you will not emit carbon dioxide into the air, right, and everybody will be safe, right. So the point here is that was the first premise that was set for remote work. So people start thinking that the less we go out, the better for us. The less we use our vehicles, our engines, the better for us. And this was as far back as 1970. In 1971, what the Washington Post published an article called "Working at Home Can Save Gasoline." The same concept around discouraging people to go out. And because of some of these articles, IBM allowed 5 of its employees to work from home as an experiment. And they did it. Okay, you guys, okay, 5 of you go home and work from home, and let's see how far you can go, right? So, and that was as far back as 1979. In 1983, about 2,000 staff or employees of IBM started working from home. Unfortunately, internet was born. So, when internet came on board, the will I say opportunities came on board, and different things can now be explored. Different options of, oh, okay, I can actually send it to you. You can receive it from me, and that started, and that was really it, and that was the real beginning of it. In 1990s, so there are a lot of digital, or will I say technology-driven initiatives that came on board. One of them was Wi-Fi, and this was invented in around 1991, 1992, right? And also within that period, US Congress approved permanent funding for FlexiPlace. So they really want staff to work from home, and for them to enjoy. Now you have internet, now there's Wi-Fi, then you can work from home and you can exchange emails. In 2000, between 2000 and year 2019, enterprise networking and collaboration tools like Yammer, Slack, and some of them came on board, right? And about 70% of the world population works remotely at least once a week. So this was will I say, a good premise that launched the world into exploring the huge opportunity, or the huge opportunities or potentials in working from home. And if you look at it, for those of you that you are aware of Yammer, look at the ways, the huge functionalities and features that you get on Slack, like Zoom, like Microsoft Teams, and all of that, right? In fact, I've not even heard of what's the name of the platform we're using today. I've not heard of it until yesterday that the organizers told me about it. But the point is, the world now went into this, and they saw the potential in this, and they started exploring it. And lastly, 2020, wow, COVID-19 started. For example, as an employee of Stanbic IBTC, the biggest PFA in Nigeria, right? I was not working at home from home for a long time. Though we have some policies around you can work from home, but I never opted for it, or I never requested for it. But like I've said, COVID-19 pushed every one of us into this reality. So I started working from home like since March. And in fact, I started working not really fully, maybe in November. I came in like 1 or 2 weeks. And this January, I think I've done another 2 weeks. And I may likely not even go back to my office physically, maybe until like the next 4 weeks or 3 weeks. The point here is COVID-19 has now brought the remote working, and we have reached the tipping point. Look at it when Zoom almost crashed. In fact, Microsoft Azure crashed immediately. People started working from home with different things people were pushing into the cloud. The point here is remote work started actively, and that boost came in 2020 as a result of COVID-19. Another thing we need to quickly look at is what are the common challenges that we encounter working from home. And I'm taking some of these from my own personal experiences and some of the interactions I've had with my colleagues as well. So I've picked 5 things. Number 1 is loneliness, right? Loneliness is, the case is, if you work from home, you might want to, maybe when we get to the point of how you can boost your productivity, you might want to carve some areas for yourself at home such that the level of distractions will be minimized. While you are doing this, you'll be the only one in that angle, or in that corner, in that cubicle, or in that section that you have created for yourself. Sometimes you can be engrossed in your work, just taking water, taking peanuts, taking meals on that same table from 8 to like even 8 p.m. Some people felt that they were lonely, and there were articles that showed that loneliness was one of the top challenges experienced by remote employees, right? And this feeling can come from multiple sources. So imagine when you are in the office, like my own company, for instance, we use an open office, all of us, we can interact. Sometimes somebody will come up, make noise, we all chat, and we all laugh, and then we go back to our work, right? But imagine at home, you're just there churning out your document, dealing your stuff, and then nobody to even chat with. Unfortunately, some of us do not even have a wife that do the kind of work that we do, right? So if you want to even chat about work, they don't want to chat with. Our kids don't even understand. Like my kids, they keep asking me, Daddy, we're always in a meeting. What are you always talking about? Daddy, can you leave your desk and come and talk to us? And I'm like, because sometimes you can be lonely because you just be there, right? Working and working and working. The suggestions that will address some of these challenges are part of the things that we will suggest, or that I will suggest as part of means of actually addressing. So loneliness is a big challenge, right? Particularly when you are working from home, right? Sometimes when you are maybe if without COVID, probably or in advanced country when you have more structure, you are working from a coffee shop and all of that. You see people around you moving up and down. That can be a form of interaction, less indirect interaction. But imagine working from your room, locking your door, and all of that. So that's a concern, a challenge that has been identified. And Buffer actually did a survey in 2019 to confirm this. The second thing is distractions, right? And these distractions can be from Coco, honey, I need to pick something from the room. Coco, honey, do you have this? I want to pick it, right? Some of them can just be your kids just shouting and fighting. And you're on a call or you are in a section, you are even reflecting about a particular thing you need to do. You know, you will be worried. You just like, oh God. Or sometimes your wife will tell, like sometimes my wife will tell me, a dispatch rider is coming to drop some stuff. So please, when he comes, let me collect it. Somebody will say, so a lot of things can happen. You can be distracted, calls here and there. In fact, some people do not even appreciate the fact that when you work from home or you work remotely, you are even more engaged. Right? They don't even understand. Some of my friends will tell me, and you cannot even check on me, and you say that you are working from home.
I'm not sure we can hear you, Aweda. Mr. Aweda. No, we can't.
Hello?
Yeah, welcome back, sir.
So sorry. So I think I should just I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. My network just went off.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to share my screen again. Please let me know once you can see my screen, please.
Yes, we can see your screen now.
All right. Apologies about that. I don't know what happened. Okay, so overworking is another challenge that we know in for remote workers, because sometimes, in fact, there was a survey that was carried out showing that 86% of remote workers find themselves working extra hard in order to prove to their bosses that they aren't slacking off, and end up working an additional 28 hours a week. And this is someone like me, right? You know, naturally, you just feel that, okay, I have so much thing to do. Let me just quickly finish it before I go to do this. Let me quickly finish. Before you know it, you know that you see that you're actually doing like 7 a.m. to like 10 p.m., right? But yes, we are going to share a practical guide on how to address some of these challenges. So the point here is that a lot of people, a lot of remote workers work work overtime, right? And they find themselves even skipping lunch. Sometimes they don't even know how to log off from work. They overwork, right? And this is a serious challenge that we need to do, particularly as an employee. As an employee, you think that it's an opportunity that your organization has given you to work from home, to not to reduce your commute time, not to start spending lot of time in traffic and all of that. So you feel that, okay, let me deliver more. And with your desire to deliver more, you see that you're overworking yourself, you're burnt out, you're tired, and all of that. So yeah, we need to actually deliver value to our organization. However, it must be a balance, and then we'll get to the point to discuss that. So the point here is that people overwork when they work remotely. Our Nigeria scenario, everything in the world, Nigeria, we always have our own kind of environment. Even on Twitter, they say Twitter NG, right? I hardly hear Twitter US, but I know Twitter NG. We have our own kind of everything that we do. These are peculiar challenges. Say item 4, which is power and network issues. In Nigeria, we don't have, for most places anyway, we don't have 24/7 power supply. And in fact, our network providers can even embarrass us, just like what just happened right now. As I speak with you, maybe when we get to the practical guide on how to address some of those problems, I have 4 different networks that I do. In fact, I have option 1, option 2, option 3. I have disaster recovery in terms of if everything collapses, what do I do to get back online? So this is a challenge. Sometimes you need to foil your generator. Sometimes you need to change your networks and move around because of our challenge. So power is a bigger issue in Nigeria, right? And we know a lot of things around there. I don't want to go into the space of the political issues around the world. What is clear is, as professionals, as professionals that are working, we know these are practical challenges. Look at network, for instance. You would use this network, it will not work. You switch to another network, switch to another network. But the point is, these are great challenges. And the 5th one, which I think is very vital as well, and this one is personal to an individual worker. And the kind of job most of us on this call will be doing, like I know we are Muslim developers. A lot of us will be sitting for a long period of time, coding, writing some stuff. Even as at Friday, while I was working in the office, one of my colleagues walked up to me and told me, "Do you want to enter your computer?" I was actually like this guy I'm showing on my screen, because I was tired. I needed to just finish it before I go, right? But the point is, a lot of us spend more time sitting, and as a result of that, we are impacting our posture. In fact, if you go on to there's one TED talk around I think posturing for remote worker or something, or posturing for professionals or something like that. They spoke about how you sit, how you're expected to position yourself, right? But here is, a lot of us don't sit very well. In fact, a lot of us will just get on our couch, a lot of us will sit on our bed or lie down on our bed and work. But if you're a remote worker, that means you are going to be doing this for a long period of time. You need to set up something that will help you. We'll get to a practical way of addressing some of these issues. The point here is, the kind of work we do is not like we are lifting anything, we're pushing something. What we are doing is our brain. And the fact that you use your brain, you need to be calm and sit down. So the point here is, you need to find something comfortable for yourself in terms of how you posture yourself. Secondly is, a lot of us, because we work from home, right? You will not eat proper diets, right? Many people are not fortunate that they have this let's say wife or husband working at home with them. So many of them will just be taking pop, taking chin chin, taking all of this, taking coffee, and just to continue to work. All these are not healthy stuff, and they have huge impact on us. So I've identified 5 things that I think are challenges or major challenges around how we work from home or remote working. And those 5 things, we need to actually take note of them. I'll just do a quick recap so that we can connect the dots, right? Loneliness is number 1. A lot of people feel that they are lonely. Number 2 is distractions. We are distracted at home, not like an office. When you are coming, your mindset, you have configured yourself that I'm coming here to work, right? At home, you are not completely at home to work. You are at home partly to work and to have fun with your family. Your family will demand that fun because they can see you, and they will be more aggressive about that demand. One day, my boy walked up to me and said, "Daddy, can you just pack your laptop and just let's have fun as a family?" I told him, "Yes, I know, but let's have fun, right?" So sometimes they are demanding for this is a form of distraction, but yes, we need to balance it. The third one is overworking. Some of us we overwork, right? Because the work is in front of you, you just continue to work and work and work, and there's no closing period. That you know that mentality of I am closing from work, shutting down your laptop, putting it in your bag, putting it in your backpack, and then moving out of the office. It's a mentality that is telling you you are off work. Even as you're going home, you are reflecting about work. Some of us, when we get back home, we still do some stuff at home before we eventually sleep. But the point here is there's that physical boundary as to office, home. But imagine if you have this put together, overworking will come in, our Nigeria issue around power and network issues, and then taking good care, the bad health habits around sitting, eating, and all of that. So I've also identified 4 benefits from working from home. Number one, it's a win-win situation. As an organization, you are cutting costs in renting a physical structure, in maintaining a physical, because if you have a physical office, you need to get power in there, you need to get cooling system in there, network must be there, you need to get cleaners to clean the place, and all of that. So all these costs will be huge. So if you are doing an hybrid or a hybrid structure, right, it will reduce your cost. And if you are doing 100% remote work, that is elimination of those costs that we have identified. As staff as well, look at it. If you are a remote worker, you are not going to the office every day, right? Sometimes whether we post on social media that he boarded Lagos BRT, and this is how much he paid, and this is so he's paying money. If he's not paying money, he's going to be driving. If he's going to drive in Lagos, we know what it is, right? Particularly for big boys like us that we work on the island and work on the island and then stay on the mainland. You know, we are big boys, right? Those guys, look at the number of time we spend in traffic. Gone are the days where we used to work physically from the office. I can spend as bad as 4 solid good hours driving from office back home, right? This has been eliminated totally, 100%. The kind of clothing you wear, nobody's asking you to wear that tie, to wear that nose pointed shoes, right? That kind of belt, that nice suit. Nobody's asking you for that again. People asking, just look good. Switch on your camera, you see people wearing just t-shirts. You see people, in fact, there was a guy I saw on, was it Instagram? The guy was tying an Ankara wrapper, right? And he was wearing a shirt with suit and with tie, and then he was on a camera saying, "This is me in the real sense." But he now showed us the other part where he's using a wrapper. So you will see that people really don't care. They just want to see your face and they want to see that you are healthy, and that's fine. So it's a win-win for everybody. And childcare, when a woman works at home or a man work at home, or the family, the parents, when they work at home, they can cut costs on how they take care of their children, right? Because now they have more control around managing the children and bringing them. And this is very important. So a lot of children, they lack parental care because mother, father, they're out there 5 a.m. on the road. They don't come back until like 10 p.m. But this is a win-win situation. You are both of you are waking up together. You are taking care of these children. You're only, in fact, they are seeing you and getting full 100% attention from you, even if you are distracted. Imagine that. So that's a win-win situation. As an organization, you are cutting costs, you are getting money, you are reducing your operational costs. As a staff, you are also mentally you are all right? You are enjoying your family, all right, and you are more casual. So I don't know about that. I know the tech guys on the call, we hardly like wearing suit and tie, but just going on that sneakers, on that jean, on that shirt at home, even a 3/4 at home, you're cool, you're fine, right? So it's a win-win situation. Employer is going fine, employee is also fine. The second benefit that I've identified is a better employee retention. Yeah. So generally, people love freedom and they love flexibility, and this comes with remote working. So the freedom is what you want from me is what I'm just going to give you. How I get it done? Oh, okay. Are you lying on your bed to get it done? It's nobody's problem. Look at it in a professional setting. It is inappropriate for you to sit on the desk. Very inappropriate, right? Look at that posture. But working from home, in fact, if I use my head, put my head on my couch and my legs are on far on my ceiling and I'm getting the work done, you're fine. So that flexibility and that freedom is something that employees are very happy and comfortable with. In fact, a study showed that 54% of employees said that they would change jobs for one that offered them more flexibility. And this was from Forbes. So basically, is people are willing to even do less. So people are willing to do more for less salary because they feel that flexibility will come, right? So people would like to stick to an organization. If you're an employee, so if you're an employer, you need to start looking at this if you have not started. I'm not even sure you'll be in business if you're currently not doing at least hybrid remote work, right? But as a staff as well, you need to also look at the benefits there. The third item that I have here is enhanced productivity. Staff working from home are more productive. They deliver more. They churn out stuff more. Why? Because they are willing to go extra mile. Look at the time. So, for example, a typical day when I used to work physically 100% from the office is I wake up like 4:30 a.m., wrap up everything I want to do, get out of my house by 5 a.m., get to the island like 6:15, then have my salat and all of that, and then sleep a bit. And after sleeping, I go back to the office. I leave the office because I don't want to enter the traffic like 8 p.m. And then I drive home. I get home like 10 p.m. And that's the cycle every day. You will see that I've spent nothing less than 4 or 5 hours of my time for just in for movement, right? I'll be tired, I'll be burned out. I'm always looking out for close of business on Fridays because I'm always tired. But look at it now. When I wake up 4:30, that 4:30 till 5:30, I'll be praying my tahajjud as a Muslim. I'll be praying my tahajjud. When I'm done 5:30, I pray my salat to subhi. After my salat to subhi, and then I go into the bathroom, come out. Even if I want to bath, if I don't want to bath, nobody will hold me accountable for that. But you see that by 7 o'clock, I'm setting up my desk and I start working with strong emotions. Everything I'm intact, I'm fine. Spiritually, I'm sound. Emotionally, I'm stable. Physically, I'm also good, right? And this I can continue to work. So it is more productive when you work remotely. And lastly, is less or no commute time. Meaning is that you don't travel, you don't move around. And look at the study. It says commuting has led at least 1 in 4 respondents to quit a job. So, for example, I remember like about 10 years ago, I got a job, and that job they gave me an offer that I want to work from there. Mainland. I was so happy. In fact, I was very aggressive about getting that job. Why? Because I felt I'll be closer to my family. But look at it, the way they will say God has done it. So the point here is that we don't want to spend quality time moving around, right? We just want to stay and deliver value to our organization, deliver value to ourselves, and do a lot of things for ourselves. So the point is, these 4 points are things that I think that are benefits. I know there are more. In fact, if you go online, Google for benefits of remote work, you see much more benefits. But I've summarized it into 4. It's a win-win for both employer and employee. We are all fine. We are all making money. We're all happy, right? People will want to stay with you as an employer if you give them the flexibility and freedom required. They also want to churn out things and be more productive when they work remotely, as they don't work at all. Right? So the next and the last question right now is, what are the ways to improve your productivity when you work remotely? Sorry. So what are the ways to improve your productivity when you work remotely? Right? I've identified 7, and these 7 points are things, like I said, I have looked at different options, considering every different things. These are workable, they are practical way of getting the highest, or let me say, a reasonable productivity when you work from home. Number 1 is optimize your workspace. The meaning is that don't just walk everywhere. Don't be all over the place. Don't just walk from the kitchen, the bathroom, sometimes, when you're on a call and they say, Kazim, can you talk? You see some people say, yeah, yes, knowing that they're in a very awkward place. They cannot talk, right? So the point is, optimize your workplace. And the best thing to do is you have a dedicated place for your office space. And when you say dedicated place, we're not saying build a structure or no, what we are saying is it can be physical if you're able to section the type, depending on the type of accommodation that you have. It can also be logical. Just get a table, a chair for yourself in a corner. But let me say, from experience, you need to be sure that wherever you are setting up this, the quality of network is very good, right? And I need to emphasize this. Like in my own apartment, I have tested quality of network everywhere, and I saw that this corner is the best place where I can get network, right? So as a professional, you will not want to go into a meeting where everybody every time will be complaining your network is not good. Your network is not good, right? And you need to know that spot in that your house. So when you want to make your calls and you want to connect, you need to go to that particular spot. If you have that spot, if your network coverage is good all over your house, fantastic, just enjoy it. But if not, ensure that you have that spot in your house, on your apartment, where network connectivity is there, right? So that's the first point. And this, if like I said, depending on type of structure, some people can be better that they have the home office in their room where they will lock up and everybody will be fine, right? Unfortunately, for someone like me, where I have the best connectivity in my house is a corner. In fact, a corner in my living room, very close to my dining table. So the meaning is when I'm working, I'm in my sitting room. And the impact. I'll be denying my families I'll be denying them when to watch TV. So we need to mutually agree. You can continue to watch your TV, but the volume must be at this particular threshold so that you will not disturb me. I put my earpiece, I do my work, they watch their TV. When I'm going into a meeting, it's just when I do tap my fingers, they know that that is going to a meeting. They switch, they just in fact, they will always have the remote control with their hand on the mute. When I say tap my finger, they mute the TV, right? And if I say that they are not muting it, looking at them, it's a signal that mute it. But what is important here is you have somewhere in your house that works for you, and this does not distract me. So you need to look for where will work for you. Particularly, your connectivity is a priority here, and the background noise too. You need to manage it like the way I've given, depending on your own environment. The second thing I've identified that you need to focus on is you also need to have it like you need to have this office space so that it gives you that sense of I am going into office and I'm going out of the office within your house, right? Sometimes if you don't do this, you'll be thinking, oh, okay, I'll just. So when I don't want to work, sometimes my wife will want to serve me food. I want to eat. I will deliberately take it off my office table, quote and unquote, and then put it on the dining table deliberately because I want to have that mindset that I am not working. I am actually eating, right? This is a mentality, and all those things you can control it logically, just arranging stuff in your head. And Allah SWT has blessed us that we have all of these capabilities and we can do it, right? The third thing I've identified, you need to arrange the furniture and gadget appropriately to support good posture with your cables properly aligned. Don't fly cables. If you fly cables, people can trip, just like the normal safety rules that we have, right? So some people will put one printer here, put the laptop here, put the cable, and they no. Arrange yourself in such a way that you are able to pack your cables appropriately. In fact, I used to fly cable until I got an internet decor that came around and told, oh, okay, do it like that. And they gave that professional. In fact, after that, my cables will never fly. My cables are under my table where I work. And that is standard that we must all do. Or else, in fact, seeing cables flying everywhere can even add to your stress. Somebody will trip and all of that. So structure yourself and put yourself in an office per se. And lastly, that I've identified under optimize your workspaces, observe a clean desk policy. The point is, don't leave books everywhere, your mouse, your keyboard, everything scattered, everything structured. This is where I keep my pen. This is where I do this and this. You structure yourself and manage yourself. Oh, okay. I'm running out of time. Okay, the second thing is set clearly defined goals. What I'm saying here is, you know, you work from home. If care is not taken, phone will take you off work and you start having performance issues. Or even if you are the owner of your business, you start under delivering to your organization. So you need to set clearly defined goals, depending, at least at the beginning of the year, you'll have set a goal or some set of goals for yourself. You need to be focused on that and make those goals align with your strategic intent. What do I want to achieve? Right? The goals must be realistic with specific metrics to define achievement. So on a daily basis, you pick up your pen, right? And you write, today, I want to achieve 10 things, and then you write them. And as you are closing, you know, when you are closing from home office now, it's just a logical thinking to say, I am off work and I'm going out, right? You need to now tick off 1, 2, 3. If you're able to achieve all of them, good, you're happy. If you are not able, you need to you need to do some sort of carryover if you're not able to finish it that day. What the point here is, be clear on your goals on a daily basis. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to achieve. And don't forget, life is not only about your work. Particularly as Muslims, we have our spiritual life to cater for. Our families, if you are married, they are your responsibility. Prophet Sallam told us clearly, he said, Kullukum ra'i wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyati. He said, all of you, you are all shepherds. And on the day of judgment, Allah will ask you about how you have managed your flocks. The point here is, set goals that will also impact your family positively. Don't be blind about your spiritual lives. Don't be blind about your family. Don't be blind. Just say, oh, everything is about work. I want to be this. I want to achieve everything. I want to deliver my organization. I want to get. You need to know that you have spiritual life that you need to cater for. My salat is part of my daily goals. My nawafil is part of my daily goals. So as Muslims, you can start up your day with 2 or 4 rakah of salat duha, and that you can start observing according to Lagos time, if I'm not mistaken, within 7:30 today up to like maybe 11 a.m. You can just start with that, and then when you do that, you're more energetic, and then you go in to your work. So what I'm saying is, be clear on what you want to achieve on a daily basis. Don't just go to that your home office, sorry, or your desk and start thinking, I'll just go there, anything I can do. Anything I can do does not portray you as a performer. Anything you can do does not portray you as a go-getter. Anything you can do does not portray you as someone that wants to win and want the organization to win. What I'm saying here is that you need to set clearly defined goals for yourself. You need to create a schedule. And creating a schedule today is very easy. You can create your schedule on your phone, you can create it on your laptop. In fact, you can sync it with your wristband, and you can now plan yourself. So set logical boundaries for yourself and use calendar alarm to structure your day. I'm resuming this time, I'm closing this time, I'm attending this meeting. Don't just drag people to meetings. So structure yourself very well. So you can plan your breaks as well. Okay, I'm going to stop and break at this time, right? Some of us, someone like me, in fact, I had a call with one of my foreign consultant, and we said we will have a meeting between 12 and 2 p.m. The guy asked me, don't you go for lunch? We all laughed because we like that logical boundary is not there for us, right? But for them, they have it clearly. And for us to start enhancing our productivity, we need to start thinking along that line. We need to plan our break and hold yourself accountable for it. I plan to do a 15 minutes press up every day, right? When we started this work from home, I started looking at myself, I started looking like an Aweda, right? You see an Aweda, a robust, tall brother. Me, I'm short, but I started looking robust, and I worry that I don't want to be fatty or robot like Aweda. I want to be slim and leper, right? So I started doing jogging, started buying kits at home, started buying different kits at home to help. Yeah, you cycle, you do steppings and all of that. So you even jog maybe like 10, 15 minutes. You need to set all these routines for yourself and hold yourself accountable. The accountability part is serious. You may need to have an accountability partner that will help you sustain this spirit. The point here is that if you truly need to be productive as a remote worker, it is crucial for you to create a work-life balance schedule that gives you the chance to relieve some stress. Don't just say work, work, work. You need to do work and balance it as well. The fourth thing is design healthy routine. So not say because Kazim said, create daily schedule. You load your schedule, right? My schedule will now be I wake up 7:30, open my laptop, send the first all emails till this. After sending emails, do proposal, review project initiation document, send. You won't do that, right? You need to plan, you need to design a healthy routine that will be mindful of your health. What do I eat? A lot of us, when we work from home, we just, like I said, we just snack away. So start eating something healthy, start working out. And we have a lot of, you need to be deliberate about what we eat and when we eat them. This is very important, right? So one of the benefits I enjoyed from working from home is I eat my dinner earlier. Before, when I even get home by 10 o'clock, when do you expect me to eat? I'll be eating like 10:30 p.m. Unfortunately, that was killing me and I was adding weight and I was not happy with myself. But now, 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm done with food and that is all for the day. In fact, sometimes when I work very late, I will still need to go and take tea before I sleep because I feel, my brain is still telling me that I need to eat. Then I'll go and take ginger tea, take lime and all of that just to help myself. The point is design your health, your routine and make it a healthy one. If you have the capabilities to go to gym, why not hit the gym, jump, all those things. If you don't have the capability, you can actually do this by yourself. In fact, I tried something out, doing planking, just planking for 3 minutes daily in the morning. So I used to do it, and after maybe in the morning when I wake up, before I go to work, I just do planking. You just see me, I'll just start having 6 packs. Yeah, I'll now be very fit. So the point is, you can do all this. Use the different gadget that we have, the heartbeat, sorry, the fitness and band and all of that can help. So item 5, in terms of what are the things we can do better, is that we need to get backup internet and power. This is very critical, brothers and sisters on the call. It is because it is embarrassing for us not to work efficiently from home or remotely. And the only thing that can easily embarrass anyone is telco or the telcos or the ISPs. Like I said, for someone like me, I have all the network in Nigeria. Okay, so let me say all the telcos first. I have the MTN, Glo, Nine Mobile, Airtel, the four SIMs, and the four SIM are active. I have two of them always up and running, and that is what I use. I have another two that they are disaster recovery. In case this one fails me, I load it again and I kickstart it. I have Intel as well. I have the modem. So imagine having 5 different networks. Number one is priority. This one is backup. There's backup to the backup. There's backup to the backup, and then there's what we call, or what I have termed, disaster recovery myself. That in case all of these guys collapse, this is another thing, and that disaster recovery is leveraging on a totally different technology from the four which I'm currently using. So the point I'm saying is that to avoid the embarrassment, get a backup. Get a backup for your network. And before you even start using this network, you need to be sure this network is good in your areas. I've worked with two different top, okay, let me say I've worked with two different ISPs in Nigeria. One of them is top right now, right? But these two ISPs, from my experience, I realized that coverage is an issue. So you need to know which one works better for you in a particular area. You don't want to go to meetings that you not be able to talk and say, Kazim, we cannot hear you. Can you sort us okay? Can you sort us okay, Kazim? You feel embarrassed when you keep getting this feedback from people, right? If you present slides, it will hang. It will do it. So you need to get quality network and be sure that you know the best network for area. If you're for, and then you also need backup for your devices. If you have one phone, yeah, it's possible. If you have the coverage, get 2 phones. If you have one laptop, get 2 laptops. Some organizations will not allow you to. BYOD means bring your own device. It's a policy, it's a governance thing, that different infrastructure to support it as well. Some organizations will allow it, some organizations will not allow it. What is important is ensure that you have backup devices. Not that some people will say, Kazim, I've been trying to reach you, and the next thing is, my phone is bad, and as a result, nobody can reach you. If you're a remote worker, they don't expect you to be offline anytime. You are always online real time. So you need to get backup, and that backup also extends to your power, right? We know our power can fail us anytime. Yeah. So if you have inverter, get it, solar, get it. And for me, generator is the disaster recovery for all this. Your inverter can act up, right? Your solar can act up. Your generator, you need to also have something as a disaster recovery, depending on your own structure. So for someone like me, what I do is, if I don't do NEPA, at least in my area, I get nothing less than 18 to 20 hours power supply on a daily basis, and it is very regular, except normally when there are issues, right? I have a generator. In fact, I have two generators standby. This the primary is NEPA, the secondary is my second generator, and there's a disaster recovery for another generator in case everything collapses. What I'm saying here is, some people might not be able to afford the one generator, two generators, right? Just be sure that you are mentally ready for this work that you want to do. Don't go there and embarrass yourself. If your disaster recovery is a power bank, fantastic. If your disaster recovery is that you have a neighbor that you go and visit, no problem. But the point is, you must have a disaster recovery for this. The item 6 that I have here as a way of improving your effectiveness working remotely is collaboration with your people, right? When we said that one of the challenges was loneliness, blah, blah, blah. But when you are online and you are collaborating with your people, and that collaboration should not be only work related. A lot of us, we've missed it. The only thing we do on calls, good morning, everyone. I'm Kazim Lawal. We want to discuss about this project, blah, 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 and you talk and talk. Thank you, everyone. You go to that meeting, you crack jokes. Sometimes my bosses will tell us, everybody switch on your camera. I want to see your face, right? That is a form of collaboration that would beat loneliness, at least to a certain extent. You still remain active. You see yourself as being part of a team or a larger team, and you collaborate and interact with them. Right? We have fantastic tools to help us today. I don't need to start telling everyone on this call. We are big boys. We know all this. Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Slack, Google Meet, and others. They have fantastic features to help you and provide support for you to help with respect to this online collaboration. So you need to talk to people, call people. Sometimes it's not about chatting alone. Call people, talk to them, right? Drop voice notes for people, hear people's voice, do video calls and all of that. So we need to actively collaborate to beat loneliness. I'm running out of time, so I'm a bit fast. Lastly is, we need to be security conscious. I'm going to spend a bit of time, and I'll plead with the organizers to give me like 5 more minutes to spend some time on this. The fact that you work from home does not make you does not give you the license to make your organization vulnerable, or does not give you the right to expose your organization or even your confidential data unduly, right? Always lock your computer as you're at home, right? There are a lot of social engineers, or will I say hackers around that you don't even know. Some of us will make calls. Good morning, everyone. Can you transfer the 10 million naira to me? There's someone by your window listening to that conversation. You don't need to be careless with your conversation. You don't need to be careless with your emails. We don't need to be careless with your laptop. We have a policy in my environment where you do Control Delete, bam, or you do Window L, bam. When you do so all of this is when you're standing up. Don't say, I have a wife at home. Aisha is just fine. No, this is a confidential information. You've been employed, or you are working for some people where they so cherish their data. So you won't go and lose your guards and allow people to play and mess around with them. Imagine you're leaving your desk as a developer and walking away, and then you suddenly see your kid going to that system and go and drop a database from your SQL. You do know. In fact, you will not even resume. You just shut down that laptop and run away, right? So you need to be very careful. Always lock your computer. Remember, your password is like your toothbrush, right? And you must not share it with anybody. Don't say, honey, let me unlock that laptop. My password is Kazim123. When you put in there, go to the desktop. You won't say that. So you work for an organization, you need to protect the integrity, the data integrity of the organization, right? So you need to avoid having confidential discussions in the public. Don't expose your organization unduly. So this is very important to us as professionals. While we work from home, we can be effective, but you need to watch out for security. Don't expose your code. There are intellectual properties from your organization, or there are some intellectual properties that are working with you for your client. Do not expose them unduly. Be security conscious. Use strong password. Don't just go and connect to any Wi-Fi. I'm here, I saw free Wi-Fi. Just connect to it, and then you are sharing official information on that. So the point I'm emphasizing here is we need to pay attention to this. So in summary, what we have been able to discuss because of time is we have been able to discuss how to work remotely effectively and efficiently, right? From the discussion, we have touched on these 5 points. We discussed the introduction. We explained to us remote working has come to stay, and we must all appreciate it and embrace it. Even if you don't embrace it, you are going to lose out, right? So embracing it means that we need to now start looking at it from a positive perspective and partaking in it positively. So we explained that remote working is working from somewhere, not your physical office. And we said work from home is a subset of remote working. Effectiveness and productivity, we joined them together and defined it as a way of doing things better and getting things done and hitting the nail on it on the head to deliver value for your organization. We discussed about the evolution of remote work, how it started from 1970, setting premise for it using zero commute time, efficient use of gasoline and all of that, and eventually the launch of internet, the deployment of Wi-Fi, and then lastly COVID-19, boom, boosted everything and everything skyrocketed, and we are here as we are today. We identified 5 common remote challenges that we know, which are loneliness. We talk about loneliness. We talk about just let me go back to that slide. So we discussed about loneliness. We discussed about distractions. We spoke about overworking. We also spoke about power and network issues. And lastly, we discussed about the health. And then we discussed about the benefits for that we all gain if you look at it. It's a positive thing. It's a positive drive we should all key into. And lastly, we discussed about 7 recommendations that I think can help us optimize your workspace. Do not create a workspace that will give you issues, that will make you look bad in terms of in the future. Set clear goals and work towards them. Create a good schedule and consider your health as part of your schedule. Your routine must be healthy. You get a backup, you get stable internet and stable power. You get a backup for that. And you also have what I have termed disaster recovery for that. And lastly, second to last, we talk about collaboration. This will address loneliness and all of that. Collaboration. And lastly, we need to be security conscious. So thank you so much for the opportunity given to me to discuss this topic. I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you abundantly and make this beneficial to all of us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wow, it's been a very, very interesting intellectual adventure. You know, we've had to publish textbook for some of us that have had to document some content from his beautiful presentation. So it was really, really great intellectual journey with Mr. Kazim Lawal Abu Aisha, who is saddled with the responsibility of IT project implementation in Stanbic IBTC pension managers. So we're so excited with that awesome presentation of yours. And I was going to do, sketch the summary of the whole presentation after his talk, but my job has been really quite easy because he actually captured everything in a very, very fascinating synopsis, after his talk, and I won't be doing that again. So we thank you again for these great presentation, and we pray Allah continue to increase in knowledge and make it quite beneficial for everyone who has participated and those who will be listening to the presentation after this time. Okay, I would like to go to questions and answers now. So, okay, so we will be entertaining questions for people who may want to ask questions or seek clarifications on some things. So, do you have the time out now? So you have the time now. If there's any question, you can actually of course, send it to us. But while waiting for the participants to actually feed in the questions, there are some questions that are here that I would like the lecturer to elucidate without ambiguity. We have got issues that have been raised, by the head of events in Musdev during his opening remarks, and he did mention that Lagos State government is actually planning to have students resume schools, and of course, the parents should stay at home. Those that are working with Lagos State government should work remotely. So, what is the future of remote working in this perspective? What can you say with these logistics of working, in this regard? And of course, the second question I'd like you to talk about is the future of remote job itself. What are we looking at in the next 10 years, 5 years? What are the things that might change in terms of the technology we are using? I think there are quite a lot of softwares for remote, communication, and presentations. We have Zoom. You mentioned many of them in your presentation. But is it possible for us to have more of these tools in the future? And what are the advances we can possibly envisage, in the coming years regarding working remotely?
All right. So thank you so much, Aweda, for that question. Okay, so the truth is that when this whole work from home started, I know a lot of people, we hardly hear of Zoom. For someone like me, yeah,
Okay.
I've not heard of Zoom. Just hold on, please. I need to just hold on, please. Okay, so a lot of people hardly hear of Zoom, but you can see that when Zoom came on board, when COVID started, Zoom, boom, everybody started using Zoom. And we started seeing the increase on the usage, adoption of Zoom. Everybody started using Zoom. But the evolution is also paving ways for a lot of people to come in. You can see that Microsoft came on board with Teams, and they've been upgrading Teams with these different features. Even Google Meet. No, people hardly use Google Meet, but today Google Meet is becoming a huge, a huge competitor to Zoom, because it comes like, okay, you can quickly use another. So the point is, the evolution will continue, and people will continue to play in that space. StreamYard, for instance, like I said, I never heard of it. Yes, it's coming on board, and it's doing fantastically well. I was shocked when I just click few buttons and I'm there. Good. So the point is, this will continue to happen. People continue to come into this space. But what is important for us as professionals is, how do you key in into this huge opportunity? How do you continue to use different tools and know this tool is applicable or more useful for this particular thing, while this is for this? So the point here is, yes, it's going to happen, and it's continuing to happen, and different things will continue to come on board. From another question from the organizer, I saw that, what is the future of remote work? The future is remote work, right? So, and I'll say it, I'm being more productive working from home, and I would say that I've even delivered more to my organization. So one of my profile, so I set up a company in 2017, Content Bunch. I never bothered to use the company until 2020, where COVID started, and I launched the company. And to be honest, we've been doing fine, right? And that is Content Bunch Limited. So the point here is, that is the future. Content Bunch, we have like 3 people working for us. We have never, okay, except my wife that stays with me at home. The third person, we've never seen ourselves for the past 1 year, but we work together, and we drive the company together. The point is, working from home is the next thing. I've anchored several executive management meetings, even board meetings. I've participated via online, and that is what everybody is doing right now. So, and that is the future. If you think COVID will go on in 2021, you're a joker, right? So it's going to go on. We hope that Allah SWT will take it off, but that's the reality. Businesses must continue to run, everybody will continue to survive, and we need to align, and that is the future. Thank you.
Someone is asking about how he can actually maintain concentration when working remotely, and if he's in a terrain where there are distractions, how can he maintain concentration? So, okay. So someone is also asking as well that how can we strengthen our concentration when the area, okay, we have taken that. There's someone also asked about what's the best ISP for remote working. I think you mentioned something like that in your presentation where you were giving the personal example. That question might be quite difficult for you because you can't pick ISP, and say this is the best without considering the location you want to use the ISP. So I will leave it to that to I will leave it that question to you to clarify more for the question, inshallah. So you can take the two.
All right. All right. So in terms of distractions, how do you fight it? The first thing is your mindset. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with with this mind that we can control things, right? So the first thing is you need to understand that this is now the new way or new ways of working. You need to accept it, right? That's the first thing to avoid distraction. The second thing is creating a home office structure. Like I said, if you can demarcate it, all well and good. If you're not able to demarcate, just like me, right? Just get a table and a chair and have that mindset that this table and this chair, whenever I sit on it, it is my office. I am in my office. So you need to control that, your mind, and do that. And for you to do this concentration as well, yeah. So we have one of our big audience here, Bushra. She's saying hello, hello, right? So some of these that you have, they are distractions in when you term it distractions, but they're also part of life, right? So the point is for you to avoid that distraction, first and foremost, on a daily basis, after setting a home office structure logically, the next thing is have a bullet point of what you want to achieve on a daily basis and have that jotter beside you. So once you start, this is what I'm doing first. You go, even if there's because sometimes you have 1 to 10 items that you want to do, and your boss will bring the 11th and the 12th and the 13th and the 14th. Keep putting them on the list, and then you keep working from that list. The point is your mindset. The second thing is get a logical office structure at home. The third thing is you set a daily goal and tick off on what you do. So once you are done, you now look through it. Out of the 20 things that I've highlighted, I've been able to achieve 5. That means I will need to move on the 15 to the next day. And like Imam Ghazali said, all these things that knowledge generally when they come, it's not like when they come, you just perfect the implementation of knowledge. Experience will come. Imam Ghazali said you will take it like a drug that you are using to cure an ailment. When you take it, it's not like when you take it, it's not magic, it will not go off immediately. You start learning. So when you see that today, I set 15 goals, I was able to achieve 5. That means I got 5 over 15, which is a failure, right? Tomorrow I need to get better, I need to get better, I need to get better, and then you keep doing that. So my point is, your mindset is number 1. 2 is create a home office structure. Thirdly, you have a jotter where you track your activities, and then you review your daily activities. That can help you to avoid distractions as much as possible.
Okay.
In terms of the ISP bit,
Okay.
ISP bit, there's nothing we will be able to do. The only thing is just check the one that works for you and use it. Like I said, I have like 5. So
Okay.
just get your environment and
Sure,
move on.
sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we're going to take the final question, and that has got to do with you clarifying to us from your huge spaces of experiences, which is more effective between working effectively and working productively. Which is weightier between the two, working effectively and working productively.
Okay, so some of like that question is an academic question, and we can continue to debate which one of them is best. But as far as I know, effectiveness is better than productivity. Productivity is a measure of how many things or how much work are you able to deliver within a period. Effectiveness is how many desired work are you able to deliver within a period. So let me have this question. Let me paint a scenario. For example, I can churn out a proposal or 3 proposals in a day. That is productivity. So they will say Kazim can churn out 3, Aweda can churn out 5, and Bushra can churn out 7. By that measure, Bushra is more productive. It's churning it out. But when you say effectiveness, I will say that today, what I want you guys to do is to generate 5 proposals. So if Kazim is able to generate 5 proposals, Aweda is able to generate 4 proposals, Bushra is able to generate 2 proposals, Kazim will be deemed to be more effective because he's able to turn out the desired goal. There's a specific goal that they're asking you to deliver, and you're able to deliver it within that time. So the point is, this is an academic discussion, but what is important as a professional is how am I able to deliver value to my organization? Thank you.
So we're so glad to have you around. And somebody is requesting if this presentation can be on our website. We're going to look into that logistics and make it available for people to have access to the presentation after this timeout. So you'll be downloading it from the website. Okay. So we'd like to thank our lecturer again for this, auspicious and highly effective presentation he has made this very moment. We appreciate him so much, and we hope that everyone that has benefited from it will begin to use it as a working tools in their lives. So we'll move to the next thing on the agenda now, and I'm talking about okay, our lecturer is away now, so thank you so much. So we're going to move to the next thing now, which has got to do with the vote of thanks, and we will be having the one of our respected members to do that for us. And okay, and before we do that, quickly, we would like to talk about the masterclass that will be coming up in February. So the February masterclass is also near. It's happening, and we'll be talking about artificial intelligence. And we have got an interesting lecturer that will be talking about the topic. And he is an expert in artificial intelligence, and he has also acquired huge number of years of experience in the field. So it would be educating us February. And once you check our website, the dates would be shown to you, inshallah. So I think we should want to thank everyone that has participated in this great occasion. We want to thank the Muslim Software Developers Platform, which is an intellectual and highly creative platform for developers, where Muslims developers come together to solve solutions on how to solve what problems, and also interact on educating other people about IT, and of course making an effective way of life using ICT and being a Muslim. So the Muslim we thank Muslim so much for organizing such an interesting
Looks like we lost connectivity, and I think Aweda is trying to round up. So we are going to be closing the session with a closing prayer. And so subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Whatever we learned today, we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it beneficial to us and to make our affairs easy. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you at our February masterclass, inshallah.